What's going on, everybody? Jay Hayes here, and of course, this is on the Realist channel. There are some things that I want to talk about. A lot of the times when you watch a lot of my lives, basically, they're cut from lives either done on this channel or on my Twitch channel, and there's not really much of a difference between the two. Obviously, the camera angle is going to be a little bit different, but something I really want to talk about is this whole Donald Trump situation. Now, while Donald Trump was president, I 100% supported him. I will sit here and tell you exactly what everybody else tells you, is that Donald Trump didn't know when to stop talking. As much as I supported him because he was the president of the United States and he had a lot of things that I believed in. Now, keep in mind that I'm not really on the right side and I'm definitely not on the left side. I'm more directly in the center. I guess you could say I lean more towards the right than I do the left, but I can also, at the same time of being able to respect both sides, hear people's arguments and not get into a pissing match or screaming match about what somebody is saying and how they're incorrect. But the issue I really have with this is I was following this when Biden started, firing off and he was really starting to take states. I was telling people straight up that Biden is going to take this election. There's no doubt about it. And of course, Trump is going to stomp his feet. He's not going to like his way. He doesn't like losing. So he's going to sue states. He's going to do this. But when it comes down to the brass tacks, he's going to lose. It's not like he's going to lose marginally, or well, I guess you could say marginally small or marginally as far as big. It could be used in either context, but it's not that, right? Like, he had Florida, fantastic. He had Georgia, but as those mail-in ballots that started to come in, primarily a lot of the people that voted via mail-in voted for Biden because it's something that Biden pushed a lot. Trump really didn't. He didn't believe in it. People will say that Trump failed because of the corona situation and this whole inject bleach or digest bleach. He never said those words. He said inject disinfectant into certain organs, but he didn't tell people from home to do it. I do not think he should have ever said it out loud, but he was speaking to a doctor and he made that comment, which that's not his field. Being a president, your field. Talking about injecting lungs with disinfectant, not your field. Like, just let it go. I kind of get where he was going, but it wasn't right. And I don't think that was even the deciding factor. A lot of people use the argument of saying corona, corona, corona. Corona's what did it. I don't know if that's it either. I think it's a collective thing. What I don't understand is how states like Michigan, Wisconsin, I call them Wishigan because of the two of those two together, those two together should have voted red, not blue, because Joe Biden has made it very clear that when he becomes president, he wants to rule out fossil fuels. And there's a lot of jobs in those two states and other states that also voted blue to where you're going to lose your job. And keep in mind, or jobs, I should say, is plural. He also wants to really, really, really restrict guns, the Second Amendment. And Arizona is a very, very gung-ho state. They went blue. You look at New Mexico. Not New Mexico. I'm sorry. One more over. Nevada. Nevada's pushing towards blue. Granted, it's not finished yet, but as many things that Trump may do, there is a point where you have to throw in a towel. There's an old saying, you have to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them. This is the point where he's got to be the bigger man. He can't be the sore loser. Yes, it sucks. You lost. It does. It sucks. But what are you going to do about it? You're gonna file all these lawsuits, and what happens when none of those go through? They were already blocked in Georgia. They were already blocked in Michigan about the whole vote and submitting it too late. The two judges already shut them down. So I'm telling you that Biden is going to win. And as Americans, we have to support Biden. But really, it's not even, the problem is with Biden is, people say, Jay, what are the pros and cons? I can't give you any pros. Like, I don't have any. Cons? Yeah. I could tell you that, well, either Biden or Trump, you could use the argument and say Trump is healthy, but they're both very, very old. There should be term limits. And what happens if Biden, something happens where he gets early onset dementia or he's unfit to be a president? Who do you think becomes president? Kamala Harris. People have not factored that in. That is not an individual you want to run this country. I'm telling you right now, it's got nothing to do with misogynistic-isms. It's got that's not even the right word, but it has nothing to do with any of those. What it has to do with is Kamala Harris as a whole. You have to remember that this is the same woman that called Biden racist. If we're going back on past and we're basing off of that, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just look forward and say, forget the past. Okay, but at the same time, if Trump does give a fight, do you really expect him not to? I think he should. Just like for 3 years, the Democrats spent a lot of money trying to impeach him, and it worked. It worked. It worked. Nothing at all. Nothing happened. It was just a waste of money, a waste of time over a phone call, right? So if he wants to fight back and say that, hey, this is corrupt, no one's going to sit here and tell you that the voting system is 100% accurate, because there are going to be flaws. There is going to be voter fraud. There are people that were dead that were voting. There were people that were 182 voting. That shouldn't be a thing. The electoral votes should also not be a thing, but we're the only place in the world that does it. And well, because we do it, they've tried to change us 2 other times before, and we're not successful. As sad as it is, someone in Texas, their vote is going to be worth 3 times more than someone's vote in Maine. It's just the way that it is. And I do want to put this out there for the Republicans that love Trump, but keep in mind, if we got rid of the Electoral College, which you probably don't want to do because it is kind of a Republican-heavy thing, he would have lost against Hillary Clinton, because you have to remember that she won by 2.5 or 2.4 million popular votes, and Donald Trump only won by electoral. He was hoping to do that again, but I don't think that's going to happen. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a very, very high chance it's not going to happen. It's going to be Biden. I have no pros. I have a lot of cons. The Green New Deal, I do not like. His healthcare, I don't have a lot of information about it, but Biden is going to shut down this country again. If he shuts down this country, the economy is going to plummet, and it's going to hurt very bad. There's going to be a lot of jobs lost, especially if he does the $15 minimum wage. You could forget about small businesses. They're gone. I understand that there's not a lot I could do to change it, but I could give you my opinion. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I just don't think that this is the proper direction that America has or is going down. People always want to say, oh, Trump is brash, Trump is harsh, and I'm not going to take that away from you. Trump doesn't know how to shut his mouth. Absolutely, you're 100% correct. But I will tell you this. What other president, aside from Donald Trump, has stepped a foot inside of North Korea? None. How many other presidents initiated peace in the Middle East? None. Just those 2. Don't they account for something? Or is it because he's so brash, so harsh? I would rather a president that stands up for us and is aggressive with it, rather than someone that is essentially going to be a puppet. That's what Joe Biden is going to be. And as sad as this may be, Donald Trump, I don't know whether he's going to concede publicly. Whatever he's going to do is probably going to do it on the phone. He might not do it at all. But there is a point where you have to know that you lost, to throw in the towel. If you get beat so bad, which essentially he did by the popular vote, without a doubt. Electoral, obviously it's not 100% finalized yet. He did get beat. If you're in a boxing match and you're getting your ass beat and you're on the floor, your coach is probably going to tell you to stay down, unless your coach wants a lot of money for you winning or fighting longer. But stay down, because it's risky. You look like a terrible leader if you can't give your successor the reins. Let's keep that in mind and keep it real.